everything was really fine, why post this now? That's the question people couldn't stop asking after a short, oddly intimate video of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry quietly landed online. No palace backdrop, no polished production, just the two of them dancing on their lawn, dressed down, casual, almost deliberately unfiltered. On the surface, it looked playful, lighthearted, maybe even sweet, but the internet didn't see it that way. Because when you zoom out, the timing felt intentional, almost strategic, and that's where the real story begins. This wasn't just a dance, it was a message. And depending on who you ask, it was either a harmless throwback or a carefully staged response to something much bigger bubbling under the surface. And once you start connecting the dots, it becomes harder to believe this clip was ever meant to be just for fun. The video itself is simple. Meghan and Harry moving together, relaxed, smiling at certain moments, less so at others. The caption leans heavily on nostalgia, referencing 2016 and suggesting that nothing has really changed, that despite everything, the core of their relationship remains untouched by time, criticism, or circumstance. But here's the thing. People don't react this strongly to videos like this unless there's already tension in the air. And there definitely was. In the days leading up to the post, online chatter about their marriage had started picking up again, not from one outlet, not from one comment thread, but across multiple platforms, from gossip forums to mainstream headlines. Some of it came from tabloid speculation, some from subtle remarks buried in longer profiles, and some from viewers simply reacting to recent public appearances where the couple didn't seem as in sync as they once did. Nothing concrete, nothing confirmed, just enough noise to make a public statement without actually making one. And that's where timing becomes everything. Because in public relations, especially at their level, nothing is accidental. Posts don't go live randomly. Moments aren't shared without context. When something appears right as rumors peak, it's rarely coincidence. And that's why many viewers immediately read the video as a clapback, a soft rebuttal, a way of saying, see, everything's fine. But the more you watch it, the more complicated that message feels. The caption alone raised eyebrows. By invoking 2016 and jumping straight to 2026, it compresses an entire decade of upheaval into a single emotional beat. It suggests continuity, stability, a love story untouched by loss, fallout, or consequence. And yet, so much has changed. In 2016, Harry was still a working royal. His family ties, while strained at times, were intact. His public image was largely positive. His future, while constrained by duty, was clear. Fast forward to now, and that life is gone. His grandparents have passed, his relationship with much of his family is fractured, his role within the royal structure no longer exists, and his new life, the one he was supposed to thrive in, has been far more complicated than advertised. That contrast didn't go unnoticed. Some viewers pointed out that nostalgia can be powerful, but it can also feel like denial when it skips over everything in between. Others questioned whether the reference even made sense chronologically, noting that certain milestones being alluded to didn't line up with the calendar. And that opened the door to a bigger conversation. Because when couples feel secure, they rarely feel the need to convince anyone else of it. They don't rush to demonstrate closeness in response to speculation. They don't lean on symbolism to quiet rumors. They just live. Which is why so many people started watching not just the video, but them. The body language, the expressions, the energy between them. And once people started analyzing that, there was no going back. In recent interviews and public appearances, viewers have noticed moments that feel off. Not dramatic, not explosive, just subtle. A delayed reaction here, a glance away there. Moments where one seems engaged and the other looks elsewhere. To be clear, this isn't proof of anything. Relationships are complex. Public settings are stressful. Cameras distort reality. But perception matters, especially when your entire brand is built on authenticity and openness. And perception is exactly what this video put back under the microscope. Some fans argued the clip showed comfort, familiarity, the kind of ease that only comes from long-term partnership. Others felt the opposite. They saw tension masked as playfulness, a performance meant to reassure, not express. What made it more complicated was Meghan's own past messaging. Not long ago, she spoke openly about being tired of the prove-it game, about the pressure to demonstrate worth, success, and happiness for public approval.
The sentiment resonated with many people. It sounded like growth, like stepping away from external validation, which is why this post felt contradictory to some. Because if you're truly done proving, why lean into a moment that feels designed to do exactly that? That question gained traction quickly, especially as comparisons started popping up. Viewers pointed out that influencer culture is full of similar gestures, couples posting exaggerated displays of affection right as breakup rumors circulate, carefully curated candid moments meant to signal unity. It's a familiar pattern, and familiarity breeds skepticism. The issue isn't that they danced, the issue is why now? And once that door opens, people start looking at the bigger picture. The past few years haven't been smooth for either of them, professionally. Several high-profile projects failed to land the way they were expected to. Some quietly disappeared. Others generated attention, but not longevity. Engagement numbers haven't matched early optimism, and public sentiment has shifted in ways that are difficult to reverse. When brands struggle, when narratives slip out of your control, personal image becomes a fallback. And relationships, especially famous ones, are powerful tools in that space, which is why critics argue this wasn't about romance at all. It was about optics. It was about reminding people that they're still a unit, still aligned, still relevant as a pair, because separately, their influence looks very different than it once did together. This is where the influencer comparison becomes unavoidable. Influencers trade in relatability, in perceived authenticity, but they also trade in performance. Every post, no matter how casual it appears, is part of a larger strategy. Audiences know this now, they expect it, and they've grown more critical because of it. So when a couple with royal history adopts influencer tactics, the clash becomes obvious. Royal mystique thrives on restraint, on distance, on not explaining everything. Influencer culture thrives on constant access and emotional transparency. Trying to blend the two rarely works, and for many viewers, this video highlighted that tension more than it resolved it. It didn't silence rumors, it fueled discussion. It didn't project stability, it invited analysis. Which raises an uncomfortable truth about modern visibility. In an era where authenticity is currency, trying too hard to look authentic can backfire. People sense when something is curated, even if they can't immediately articulate why. And once that trust wavers, every gesture is scrutinized. That's exactly what happened here. Instead of seeing a spontaneous moment between partners, many saw a calculated move responding to external pressure. Instead of warmth, they saw insecurity. Instead of nostalgia, they saw avoidance. And none of that helps if the goal was reassurance. What's ironic is that silence might have worked better. Letting rumors pass without acknowledgement often drains them of energy, but responding, even indirectly, can validate the very speculation you're trying to escape. Which brings us back to the original question. If everything was really fine, why post this now? Maybe it was innocent, maybe it was personal, maybe it really was just a private moment shared without overthinking. But in the context of recent headlines, shifting public opinion, and visible contradictions between message and behavior, it's understandable why so many people read it differently. Because when public figures tell us they're done proving themselves, then immediately release content that feels designed to prove something, people notice. And once they notice, they don't forget. At the end of the day, this video didn't confirm anything. It didn't expose a secret. It didn't prove or disprove the rumors surrounding their relationship. What it did do was remind everyone how closely they're being watched and how thin the line is between authenticity and performance. Sometimes the need to show that everything is fine raises more questions than staying quiet ever would. And in a world that's grown deeply skeptical of perfectly timed intimacy, that might be the most revealing part of all.